Yes, Dave Scholl, tell them like it is. NFL division previews. We try to go in order from worst to first. AFC South for the second year in a row was the worst, voted on by a panel of former players and football fans that I know. Today, AFC South was voted second worst. After this, it gets a little dicey and a lot closer. AFC South, definitely the second worst division. Reason we didn't make it the worst is because of the Jacksonville Jaguars, who I think are going to be pretty good this year. I think that good things are coming from them. Again, here we are, August 17th here in New York. A lot of excitement, ready for football. See that logo right there? We're ready to go. And, it's an exciting time of year, especially when the baseball teams here are dead in New York. Really dead, and a lot of different ways. Not doing too good. And something that the New York fans and the Mets and Yankees have absolutely tanked. All kinds of people ready to jump off buildings and stuff like that. But no big deal. Chris Carter shirt on here, jersey. All he does is catch touchdowns. And, it's fun to be here at football season. My A's, still having fun watching them every night, even though we're trying to avoid setting the worst record in baseball. We do have a new guy every night, so I'm really having fun evaluating talent. But it is frustrating to lose, but we knew that was coming. So we're still looking forward to having another month and a half of that, approximately month and a couple of weeks. And then we got my Vikings here. We get in there. Like I said, AFC South should be fun. You just don't know about the health of teams. And so that's always a tricky thing here. But if we start off with the AFC South, again, we'll look at the schedules done by NFL Network. They judge by times, dates of games, not just last year's records, because last year's records, as we always find out every year, are totally backwards for a couple of teams. Teams that were really low the year before go really high, and teams that really high the year before go really low. So they use a formula of some of that, taking teams' records from last year and additions and subtractions to the rosters, and then game times and how much travel and who you're playing in the schedule and when. And I'm a big believer. I'm a big schedule guy. I tell you that every year. As a coach myself for basketball, schedule is a very, very, very important thing. So, it's a really important time of year for, looking at that schedule and understanding where your wins and losses are. AFC South this year plays the NFC South. So that's their one saving grace. Maybe they can kind of avoid treacherous situations and maybe go 4-13 and things like that. But unfortunately for them, they do play the AFC North, which is one of the stronger divisions. And obviously we won't be talking about them next because I think they're really, really good. AFC North does not have a bad team in the division. All good quarterbacks in the division. One kind of young, but still all tough quarterbacks in that division. Let's start with the Texans here. Texans got the Stroud Mills, Case Keenum deal. I think they're going to have a Case Keenum package in there and Strauss. I think they're going to lose a lot of mobile quarterbacks. Believe it or not, the one strength of the Texans, I think, is the depth of the quarterback depth situation. You do have three quarterbacks there. They probably won't keep all three, but Case Keenum, I don't know. I thought it's a guy who's always gotten screwed over the years. Casey Clausen, Brady Quinn, guys just never get a chance. Tim Tebow, Vince Young. I thought they gave up on Vince Young too early also. It's just guys that seem to just for some reason get themselves in trouble with the ideas of GMs, not off the field or anything like that. Texans have the 28th rated schedule. That's the 28th worst, so it's the 28th hardest. So it's one of the easier ones in the NFL. It's only a 32-team league, last time I checked. They do have a good wide receiver in Woods, and they do have a good tight end in Schultz, but I think this could be a struggle team. They did play a lot of close games last year. Oh, we got the blower man outside. My neighbor is a blower addict. He's out there blowing leaves and sand and air. I don't know what he's blowing. They did draft Anderson, great pass rusher off the edge. Don't love the talent on this team. I feel like they could really struggle. They do, like I said, do have good depth at QB. They do have a good offensive line, but I really struggle with the talent position. Schultz and Woods are going to have to step up. Like I said, they did get Anderson, be a good pass rusher, so you're hoping that they could step up. But they did play some tight games last year. Unfortunately, coach was the victim of all that. I thought they overachieved a little bit in how close they played some of these teams. But coaches, as always, you can fire coaches. It's hard to fire players. So the Texans, I believe, will either finish third or fourth in this division, fighting with the Colts, depending on how bad the Colts are. Colts, by the way, 29th toughest schedule. They just announced that Richardson is their starting QB. My Florida Gator buddies tell me that he is, in the every sense of the word, tease. Looks great, can do backflips and stuff like that, but then can't make a simple read and overthrows a simple guy. So he's got his ups, he's got his downs. I think it's a horrible move when you have a great rookie coming in to put him as a starter right away. The reason I say that is because if you put him out there and he doesn't do well early and you go to someone else, it creates the controversy right away. If you bring him off the bench first, I think you have something to go to. I don't think you can do that if you go back. You start somebody else, you start Richardson, and then all of a sudden you go somewhere else. You put Minshew in the game, and Minshew's better. Now you got a problem on your hands. You could always start Minshew. If Minshew doesn't do well, you go to Richardson. Richardson's learned a little bit. You do learn from watching. We've all seen that before, as people have been injured ever before and things like that can attest to. I think it's easier to go to him later, not to go away from him early. You go away from him early, you shoot his confidence down. The hunger's not there as much. He feels like it's been given to him. Let Minshew start. Be great. He's a good NFL quarterback. He's succeeded before. Let Richardson come in, because once you go to Minshew after starting Richardson, it's going to be in a tough spot to go back. You could lose the locker room. Suppose Minshew comes in and goes 3-3 after the Colts go 0-6. And then you say, well, we got to get Richardson some more reps. And then you go back to him. Well, then right there, you send a message to the veterans and the fans and the rest of the organization that you're just, you're more interested in playing Richardson than winning games. And I know you say, well, Colts aren't going to the Super Bowl, but you still a team. You still keep score, as Bill Parcells used to say, and you're still here to try to win games. They did get Taylor maybe at running back. It sounds like he's been signed and corralled. Pittman's a good wide receiver. You do have Shaq Leonard going to play more than 3 games from last year. Very good player. Head coach, Steichen did develop Jalen Hurts. Hopefully Richardson has some of the toughness that Hurts has. Like I said, I've said before in this program, I just love Jalen Hurts, everything he stands for. He's a tough kid. Everything's not pretty, everything's not this, and he just goes out there and wins and shows toughness. And anybody who bench presses those kind of numbers from what he's doing at his size is impressive enough for me. So I think it's going to be fun to watch the Colts. I'm not saying they're going to be a good team, but I think it's a lot of interesting things there. I think they have some more talent than the Texans. That's why I would predict them probably to be third in this division. But at the same time, they're gonna do some good things. Like I said, Pittman, Taylor, maybe you can get some good things done there. But again, is Leonard going to be healthy at linebacker? Only played 3 games last year. Hopefully he plays more this year. Like I said, new head coach in Eagles, helped develop Jalen Hurts. Obviously, that's going to help. He's been there with a mobile quarterback before. I just hope they don't put too many run packages in for Richardson and get the kid killed. Titans. I think the Titans will be the second place team in this division, and I think they're a live dog to be first. Obviously, they have the 25th ranked schedule, so they have a tougher schedule, obviously, than the Colts and the Texans. Tannehill, will he bounce back? Tannehill is a guy you converted from wide receiver, and he's had some good moments, but his accuracy is still, he reminds me of Dak Prescott a lot, and his accuracy is on simple plays is always a problem. They did pick up Hopkins, which I think is good. How much does Travis Henry have in a tank? I love Travis Henry, love the stiff arm. I like to call him the stiff arm. Kelly is obviously offensive coordinator, looks to change things. So that's going to be exciting stuff right there. See if they can get this offense away from run on first, run on second down, which they had the most proclivity to do in the league last year. Then again, in their defense, if I had Tannehill at quarterback and Henry at running back, I would be looking to do that on first and second down myself. So like I said, they're looking to do some offensive coordinator, go look to have some change. Play selection. Do you want to change too much here? I think Henry's still a beast, but I think you definitely got to get Henry a couple of more blows than you get. I mean, he is a tank. You got to get plays, obviously, to have him run straight. But again, Titans don't have a ton of talent. Like I said, Hopkins and Henry, though, 2 All-Pros, 2, in my opinion, Hall of Famers, obviously. Tannehill not. I think Vrabel's a great coach. I think he'll get the most out of this team. Remember, they tanked a lot down the stretch last year. They fell apart. They had it going on, and then they got bad late. I think the key to the Titans, though, is how they get off to a good start. You got a lot of veterans on this team. This team gets off to an 0-3 start. That could be a long season for you. If this team gets off to 2-1 or 2-2 or 3-2 and they're hanging around, I think you keep the interest, especially with Hopkins. Who the hell knows what he's going to be doing? But I think they're going to come in second. And I think the Jags are one of the best picks around to win their division. I would say them and the San Francisco 49ers, obviously, to win the NFC West. I don't think there's any discussion about who's going to win the NFC West. I think every other division, there's a legitimate argument. Even against the Chiefs, there's legitimate arguments, but not when it comes to the Niners and not when it comes to the Jags. I think that the Jags should win this division. Crazy coach getting it done. Plus, you got Trevor is a beast. Etienne is a great player. They pick up Ridley, who people forget off the gambling suspension. Oh my goodness, what a good player he is. Ingram, if he ever learns to catch the ball at tight end, Giant fans are still mad at him. But Trevor Lawrence, biggest jump in NFL history for a first-round pick or any pick, for a first pick or any pick in passer rating from his first year to his second year. He was also the first one in that jump with over 400 or more passes. So obviously, back in the day when Bradshaw did it, he only weren't throwing 400 passes. I think, like I said, they're one of the biggest favorites, not the biggest favorite. They do have some new tackles. That's always going to be interesting. They had to move some people to tackle. They do have a tough early schedule. They got 2 division games in that first 3, which, like I said, is really unusual. You saw that last week. We mentioned that. We did the AFC South. Then they got the Chiefs early, and then they got 1 game in London to go play the Falcons. So again, it's a weird schedule. It's got some challenges early, but I think you manage expectations here. If you get off to a 1-1 start against those 2 division games, and then you find a way to get off to 2-2 with those tough first 4 games, I think you can do something. I think you got to get to 3-2 because those first 5, like I said, you got a London trip in there, 2 division games, you got the Chiefs, could be a problem. So I mean, like, you just got to, again, manage expectations. You got to, it's kind of like the baseball season in one way and totally opposite of the baseball season another way. People say, you can't win the season in the first, couple of weeks, but you could certainly lose it. You don't want to get behind 0-3 and somebody else get out to a 3-0 start here. I don't think that's going to happen with the Jags. It should be interesting. We'll see how well they do. And the Chiefs is obviously going to be a tough game, but I think the Jags are going to be a hungry team. And like I said, Trevor Lawrence is a stud. He's got some great weapons here. I love Etienne. I love the play calling. Like I said, new tackles is always interesting. They pick up. You have some good players on this team. You got some good rushers. Is Allen gonna be able to rush the QB from outside? I think the defense lost a couple of good players. They lost 2 of their best 4 pass rushers. Allen's got to rush the QB better. They got to play better defense. And I think that that's going to be the key here. How well this team plays defense. We know they're going to score. We know all eyes are on Trevor, but are they going to be able to get off the field and be serviceable? And, are they going to be able to get off the field on 3rd down? Are they going to be able to, stop drives? So they're going to be able to, not make their offense have to do all the work here. If the defense could just give them something, keep people under 20, 25 a game, I think they're going to be all right. Obviously, if you're letting up 25 a game, that's not good defense. But at the same time, I still think it can be done with this offense. I think this offense is going to soar. Again, all these predictions don't mean crap when you don't have to filter in injuries or anything else, because we know how quick that can go south on you with all the injuries that happen in football and preseason and things of that nature. But like I said, this is going to be, I think, one of the bigger favorites. I think the Niners might be the only bigger favorite in my mind as far as a division title. The rest of the divisions are, they're debatable. I would think that the Bengals obviously going to be a favorite in their division. But again, it's nobody's I think is as dominant a favorite as the Jags here, partially because the importance of this division. I think the Saints will win their division. But again, I think you're expecting big things from the Jags. It's going to be a fun team to watch. The NFL season this year really has some great intriguing questions. Like I said, here in New York, with the Yankees and the Mets not doing well, the Giants and the Jet fans are just chomping at the bit. And everybody's getting all the coverage at all the camps, and it's all this Jet love, and the Giants are kind of under the radar right now, which is the way they like it. And so, like I said, Jaguars 22nd hardest schedule, so they have the hardest schedule in the division. But again, 22nd hardest schedule, and they get to play the NFC South. I think that the Jaguars could get you, maybe an 11-12 win season here. And you go from there, but they could also get you, an 8 or a 9 win season on the low side. I think, high side, low side of wins is always important as a coach when you take a good look. And I just feel like this is going to be one of the better division guarantees. I'm not a betting man, but if you like to bet, please. That could be all for the AFC South. So we'll have later on the weekend, we'll have the division out there. We'll tune to see it, tell them what it is, and radio. Spotify, iTunes, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, chat. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you want to hear more of. Talk to you soon.